Hey, I am being asked to do a shadow reading. So let's see where this goes. Okay, first card is Merge with Flow, number 30. Sorry if I'm too quiet. It's 11:50 at night. There's people sleeping. The key is within your grasp. Number 4. So you're close to doing something, but you're not in alignment with yourself. There's something about you that you're afraid to look at. Some aspect of your shadow self you are somehow intimidated by, maybe. It's like a part of you that you don't want to embody, because if you embody it, that means you can't be who you are now. The Hex card, number 12. Be still and allow the enemy to reveal themselves. I'm getting so many messages from this. Wow. Okay. For some here, there have been almost genetic curses placed on you, older than 1,000 years. People that insulted your ancestors, and they kept it with them. Their trauma, their pain, their experiences. It's like solidified in your DNA, and it's caused your present life to have echoes, ripples of those experiences happening in your life now or previously, so that you can break the pattern of how that experience has been responded to. In order to overcome this, you're being asked to merge with the shadow side of yourself that you feel intimidated by. So some really want to be in the love and light, but then they complain that the dark envelops them. What they don't realize is the dark is simply trying to embrace the light, so you can utilize it as power, because it's your power. You can be an angel of light and still have horns. And if that angel was created with those horns, and it was made to believe that those horns are evil, and eons ago it tried to break them off, right, in this scenario. Well, whenever you see horns now, you probably associate them with something dark. But what if those horns are like the unicorn's horn that gave you power once, and people feared that power, so they demonized it, which in turn, over time, you forgot the sacredness of that power. So you turned away from it too. But some part of you still knows. even though you've turned your back to it, some part of you still knows that even your darkest dark, even the most malicious behavior that you could think of yourself doing is simply an expression of a disconnected heart from its source, where it cries out in pain to be reconnected to that source. And there had been a hex placed somewhere along your line to where you would be afraid to reconnect and merge with that flow and that source. You are made to fear your own power. Calling in the storm. Another 30. So we have 3, 3, 3, 4. And the bottom of the deck is the child I was meant to be. So immediately I'm noticing the coloring similarity between these two cards. It seems that people knew about you during your childhood before you knew anything about yourself. You were gifted, you had special abilities, you had an innate connection with nature. And over time, people could see that in you. Echoes and remnants of the past, those people in those previous experiences, like dust in the wind. They show up, or they showed up, to diminish that light and make you think it's bad. You're being asked to look at that aspect of you. In that, you know how we all have a villain and we all have a hero. We all have a martyr. We have the archetypes. We're at different stages of the archetypes, and then there's more stages when you leave the archetypal wheels. That villain inside you was once a child. What could you consider a hex that was placed upon that child that created it into a villain in the scenario of your story? What was it they called the storm on? What was it that was made afraid and fearful? Merge with yourself and bring it into the light of who you are now. Then realize that the storm that's been called upon you is showing you all of the pieces of yourself that are scattered around you. It's a very amusing feeling of you being protected from external sabotage, so much so that even the intent is shown to you before it's committed, so that I don't know, it's almost like an instant healing in the people that intend ill. It's like an automatic light spark that goes off and creates beauty instead of, it's like a backfire in the best possible way. If you practice any form of energy work, I would recommend that you take a nice healing bath and maybe light a candle. It's not for ritualistic purposes. It's for your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind works in images. The images here are showing someone turning their back to someone in a mask and someone causing conflict. But what they're looking at is a window with a hand reaching to a key. This hand here looks like it's causing the storm that's moving all these leaves to agitate that key into your hand. The storm that was cast to get the key away from you seems to be inadvertently bringing the key right to you. Because the horns on this spiral everything weird. So even the hexes themselves that were cast upon your bloodline, if any, even if it's negative self-talk you have, is somehow teaching you to be better. It's like the Fibonacci sequence. Every time it spirals, it readjusts itself. It's like a perfect ratio. It's so amusing to me how this card here is casting storm, but it's pushing the snakes away from your hand. So really, you can look at this in a completely different way and diffuse any form of psychic attacks from ever affecting you in the future by simply acknowledging that no matter what any of them do, it's still a number 3, it's still a number 3, and it's still a number 3, and they are helping you to get to the number 4. Working together, working together, working together, all to get that key to you. But from your perception of where you are in your limited reality, you think that there are enemies, hexes, and that you are disconnected from the flow. When in reality, everything is attempting to help you to see that you've never been disconnected. You've just been isolated from the world, not from God. Number 22, which is another 4, Orenda. Honor the mystical creative force within you. Oh, that's not what it says. Look at that. It says honor your mystical. And then there's a period. And then it says creative force. She's wearing a crown of flowers, but there's blood on them. You can't really see her eyes. And then her braid is turning into a snake, which is going into her hand, which is smelling the blood. I want you to know that whatever negative thing you think is going on is all in your head. It's your perception. And the minute you free yourself from thinking you are being attacked or that you are, in a way, lost from the kingdom, the moment you give up being the victim, and you let that victim rest, you'll recognize how connected you are, and your power will flow freely, even through avenues you thought were painful and sad. Your perspective changes. When you start seeing the world as if all of it is there to support you, then you start recognizing within yourself that even your bad habits are supporting you for the time being. So maybe some of you drink, or you've been promiscuous, or you're whatever. Has it served you? Has it helped you create more ripples in life that are beneficial in some way or another? Have you experienced? Do you know better now? Then honor that. Change your perspective. We are all gods. It doesn't matter what you believe in. We are all gods, and we are all children of the source. There have been many incarnations of many aspects of source. There are many stories, and you're one of them. Honor that. It's time that you reveal your gifts. Start a YouTube channel. Open up a card reading shop in your garage if you have one. If you're in an apartment building, maybe, put a little sign in the community room, or talk to your neighbors. Be like, hey, I'm doing Reiki healings or card readings. It's just for fun. Like, make it easy for them to comprehend it, but reveal your gifts, whatever they are. Your DNA is golden. Reveal that. You might be afraid to accept it and not want to see it, but other people already see it. So even if you don't know how to accept who you are, you're still who you are. So it doesn't matter if you choose to not see it. You're still there. Do you get it? So you might as well enjoy it. Ubuntu, compassion for others. You notice how her eyes are overtaken by nature. Maybe it's time for you to give to nature and reconnect, and recognize that you're not in a state or a city or a metropolis or, in a country. And I apologize for the crunching. It's the house gremlin known as Lily, the cat. God help me. You're on a planet. The planet is Earth, Gaia. She has many aspects that walk this earth. You're one of them. I'm one of them. We're all a part of this. We all have the elemental forces of life that make up our physical bodies, in addition to all the waves and etheric and radio and frequencies and all sorts of, what even is gravity and electricity? Can you even really just figure what light is other than weaponizing it? And those people that you get angry at, or that harm you or attempt to harm you in some way, they're all trying to help you, but you perceived it as a threat, which has rippled into the world like teardrops that all say, I feel threatened. But that threatened aspect of you is the shadow side of you trying to get your attention because it holds the key. You have to have compassion. Think about it. Can you truly sit there and feel compassion for someone or something you feel is your enemy? Or is someone really terrible? Can you remember them as a child and hate them equally? Then can you hate them as a baby? Can you hate their entire consciousness so much you'd want to erase them from ever being remembered? If you can hate that much, that means you can love just as deeply to the same exact thing. Honor that creative energy, that massive gap that shows you all the hate and all the love you're capable of, and recognize that you can utilize that hate and harness it and bring it into the light and bring a love so powerful into the world that it decimates mountains and creates planets with just a whim, because you are a whole being. You are the universe. Why would you demonize an aspect of yourself or others that is only being portrayed to your eyes as a demon due to your lack of perception of the grand tapestry? Have compassion, first and foremost, for yourself, for all the thoughts you've had that have hurt you, and for all the things and actions and words you've said into the world that have hurt them. And then all the things that have been said to you that caused you to be in that state that no one ever apologized for. No one ever knew how you bled, how you cried, how you were still for every second of every day, 1 second at a time, 60 minutes, 24 hours, a week, a month, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 10 years, 20, 30, 40, some of you 50, 60, 70 years and counting of moment by moment self-punishment because of misperceived realities that have gone on for eons. Have compassion. They do not know what they do, and they haven't known for a very long time. You know, yeah, everything in perfect balance. Notice the similarities to the depictions of Christ, but this one's a female. So irrelevant of what you believe in regards to a father god or a goddess or male Christ or a different skin color or whether they're from the moon, the stars, the inside world, yourself or not, and that is irrelevant right now. What is relevant is that all of it is real. There is a divine force. There is an infinite intelligence. There is a great source. That there were people that were sacred and holy that walk this earth, just as you are. So you have spent your life as a person that was blind to who they were because they refused to see an aspect of themselves as a part of themselves. They tried to get rid of it and hide it and pretend it's not there, but everyone knew it was there because it's you. And now, can you spend at least the next day as someone who integrates not only their light, but hugs their shadow and their demons as well. Someone who has compassion for the monsters, the beasts, and those of the deep. Someone that can see the archons and say, I am so sorry that you've been without the light for so long. Can you balance it now to where nothing needs to suffer anymore, at least where you stand? And that no matter what happens, you will remain in true perfect balance with your flow. Because now you see that even your light and your dark are still the same person, just different sides, different ways to look at it, different masks to wear, and then to shuffle it all up and do it again. Just to waste time and not grab that key. So that you don't have to honor yourself, the light and the dark within you. Who would you be if you weren't just a silly little love and light bubblegum witch? Or if you weren't somebody who's so dark and broody and melancholy and just so emo, #Loki all the time? Who would you be if you were you all the time? The you that's in private. The you that you know you are, but you hide behind silly laughter, fake arguments, procrastination, working too much, sleeping around too much, being too responsible, too disciplined, too better than thou, or less than thou. Who would you be if you allowed yourself to be you? The bitchy version of you gets 5 seconds, the other version of you gets another second. It's all just you. And whenever you see someone in the world, since they already see you, what would their response be if you actually acted like what you are, instead of wearing your skin suit like a costume? Wouldn't it be nicer if you wore your beautiful star skin elemental suit of flesh and bone and moved it with the grace of the goddess within you? Let them gasp. Let them look at you weird. Let them stay a little away. How would your world be different if you walked like a king or a queen? If you spoke like a king or a queen? If you really said what's in your heart and on your mind, but with an honor to yourself, first and foremost, because you are an aspect of God walking this earth. What would your life look like? Let's get immunology. Good news for you for the next 24 hours. Adjustments are required. You're almost there. Almost. And before the moon is full again, you'll be a completely new and better version of yourself than you are now. And you know that. Your hard work is paying off. New moon in Capricorn. I almost said Aquarius. So something might be happening whenever there's a new moon in Aquarius. Someone should note that somewhere. Confidence is your key to success. A new moon in Leo. And the end of a tough cycle approaches. A full moon in Capricorn. So we have a third quarter moon, a new moon in Capricorn, and a full moon in Capricorn. So regarding your physical, tangible, financial life, the way things are going to improve from now on for you will make your present and previous financial troubles seem like they are remnants of the past. There will be distance between it. It'll seem like a different life because of how successful you are becoming. But adjustments are required, and confidence is the key. So the more confident you are in your God, Goddess self, at all times during the day and night, the more you allow that energy to channel through you, the more it's going to pay off. A new start is coming. New moon. This is going to change everything for you. Everything. For the better. Let's get one of these. There's a thief amongst you. And before I even say anything, you saw that, right? The death card on the thief. So, dear thief, the universe has spoken. If this is really what you want to do, this is what the universe is going to bring to you. Right in accordance with your vibration. You've been warned. Five of emotions. There's something about this card I want you to notice. You see how those pillars, the crystallized pain, is pouring through her. But then her entire self is the moon, the ocean, the tides, the stars. That pain is who you are. It's your power. It's like the ocean and the moon and the stars to the earth. You don't see the earth trying to get rid of it. You see it cleaning it. Maybe it's time to look at your pain. Sorry, I had to yawn. The way you look at your pain is being transformed. For many of you, the energy of that thief is being repaid by the universe before that thief ever gets away or gets to you. Others of you, there's a transformation of how you see your pain, how it's actually your power and a gift that helps you be who you are. It's like the foundation of where you stand upon, the core of who you are. That pain is like the fortress of solitude within you. Stop shaming it. You found much comfort in those moonlit nights, waiting for ships that were never coming. You found a lot of comfort in that. So accept it. Accept that you have the ability to find comfort in pain, and wear it like the shawl and scarf of the night. Allow it to transform you instead of to steal from you your precious light. It's your gift. You're not supposed to hold it all the time. You're not supposed to stand in it all the time. You're supposed to merge with the flow, to feel what it is, and to create an experience out of that. So if you feel great sorrow, maybe it's time to paint something. Maybe it's time to put that pain as color outside of you. Maybe it's time to travel the world and see something bigger than you, like a body of water, to realize that the earth has cried more tears than you will ever know. And she still lives. How can you belittle yourself because of what you felt, as if you're any less, when you are literally made of the same stuff that the earth is and the stars are made out of? And you dare claim that your pain is too much for you to bear, when that pain is exactly what you need to transform you into who you're becoming. It's like the robe caressing your body. Embrace that pain, transmute it into light, into art, into wisdom. It's like touching a faucet that gives hot water. You don't have to turn it off. You don't have to immediately turn the cold water on. You simply take a step back, look at it, adjust accordingly. The same advice cannot apply exactly the same to everybody, can it? But you can take that advice and apply it to your specific situation exactly how it needs to be. If you are in pain, stop allowing the pain to cripple you. Find a way to release that energy from within you. It's energy. Think about it like an orchestra is playing full of string instruments, perfectly in harmony. And then there's a moment of pain. That pain is like the drums coming in out of nowhere and like clashing, their drum basket or whatever. And to the instructor, the music person, and the entire band, it sounds terrible. But if you can just put that drum into rhythm, adjust it accordingly, have confidence that that drum belongs there, that pain belongs there. It's just energy. Transmute it, put it into rhythm, or release it and have it go on another stage. Put it into a potato, put the potato back into the earth. Put it into a piece of paper and burn that piece of paper. Put it, like, open your water faucet. Tell the water what you're feeling. Let it go. Thank it, bless it, and let there be light. Wash it away. You don't have to hold on to it. The universe has gifted you with pain that seems like you're holding a burning star. Let go of it. It's there for you when you need to hold it. And until then, let it inspire you. The lovers. Make peace with your masculine and feminine side. Make peace with your villain. Make peace with your God and your devil. Bring the two together. There isn't just one type of lotus, is there? Just like there isn't just one type of flower. Some of you have been in pain due to a separation from someone that was taken from you. Let there be light. Create something beautiful from that pain. It will attract. It will attract beauty to you. Some of the greatest masterpieces were made because people were in grief. They had love with nowhere to go. And they created the Taj Mahal. They created the pyramids. They created the Mona Lisa. All because someone sat down when they were in emotional distress and they painted something. They planned something. They created something. They transformed pain into something. Wisdom, no matter how you look at it, no matter how you look at it, it's pure wisdom. The moment you recognize how to do this energetically, that's the moment your next path begins, because you will have recognized the difference between your energy and others. Instead of feeling like you're in the crystal palace and everyone's emotions are shimmering lights in that crystal palace, you recognize that you're the light and the palace. And you can tell the difference between your light and the others. Right now you can't, because a part of your soul is still trying to speak to you, but a part of your mind is still stuck in the physical world, even though you don't recognize you're floating on water. It's like you're so lost in your head you don't realize you've become a goddess or a god. You will see. Oh, you will see. The muse of voices. A bridge is forming for you. The masculine of light is coming to assist you. Work on your solar and sacral chakras. Connect with the earth. Give honor and gratitude to the sun. Merge with the flow, the masculine and the feminine in you. They are both part of the flower of life. One's a spiral, one's a line. You can't have one without the other. This was very interesting. Thank you for doing this reading with me. And may it serve you. May you finally integrate your light and your dark. I love you.